That's my baby.
I'm dying.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored. They did it.
Left, beat left.
What the hell was that?
Oh yeah. What the fuck are you talking about?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Combat Sports Stop, the one and only stop for combat sports. Yes, it is good to be back, people. Your host, Johnny Quantum. And of course, you know, me and Steve go back a long way, like literally. You know, I'm talking about like literally to the beginning days of internet radio. You know, for those of you who go back that far, yeah. You know, we've made leaps and bounds. Hence quantum. We've made quantum leaps.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So we went from the caveman days, brother. You
know what I mean? For real. I mean, think about it. You know, we're here now, you know, on, you know, Combat Sports Stop, A2D Radio. A2D Radio is doing major things. I mean, major things. To start off where we started to now be on a network.
Let's do it, brother. That's what we're here to do today, right?
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. All right. And of course, you know, this first segment, of course, is brought to you. You know, many of us have family members who deal with mental health issues and addiction issues. You know, we're happy to support the Counseling Center and Sunrise Detox. If you need any mental health therapy or addiction detox, please call 856-651-8117 and tell them Tommy sent you. That's right, A2D. You know what I'm saying? We're all about the mental health. We're all about helping people, you know, with their addictions, you know, whatever that may be. So, you know, definitely check out the Counseling Center. Definitely, by far, you know. So tonight, my good man, we will be talking about, you know, what's going on with these celebrity fights, man. What's going on with these celebrity fights?
Exactly.
You know, I definitely got some opinions that I've been holding in. I can't wait to get those off my chest. Also, you know, our rundown of some of the fights and our predictions on UFC 260 card, and then the interviews. You know what I mean? Amanda Serrano just coming off a KO victory. You know what I'm saying? Kudos to her on that. And then we've got Angela Whitley coming on. You know, she's been on like a whirlwind tear here. You know, and, you know, she's collecting championships. So, and she's about to go for another one here in Lion Fight. So I can't wait to have her on.
Absolutely. I interviewed Angela back in the, those old days that me and you were talking about. So, you know, couldn't be happier to see that she's getting this crack here. And, well, I can't wait, dude. You know, Lions fights are always it's one of the reasons I like going to them because, again, me and you talk about this, you know, love Glory, love what all the other kickboxing shows does, but Lion fights just brings it to that other level. You get the elbows, you get the knees, the whole tie part of it just really completes it. And, you know, really love spotlighting, Lions fight. You know, not to say that I wouldn't do anything for Glory or any of the other kickboxing shows. Just really like what they're doing. Really like what Angela has coming and who she is. And like I said, we're keeping the theme going. We're gonna be talking a little Amanda Serrano as well. So
yeah, I mean, you know, strictly the hands are nasty, point blank. You know what I'm saying? Point blank, and people are really, really starting to see and really, really starting to figure that out. If you don't know, now you know, and you'll hear it straight from her, you know, directly live here at the Combat Sports Stop.
Yeah, but again, for people who are asking the poll, let's hear everyone's thoughts on them. We're already getting some of them coming in. Are the celebrity athlete super fights being a bit too much? Agree to disagree. We're already seeing Greg popping in here with a few here. Weighing in on his thoughts. Obviously, I know. Mr. Quantum here is gonna be laying down some wood here in a minute when it comes to this topic here. It's rough with everything we're seeing. It started off, it was fun, at the beginning when it was every once in a while, but then when you're seeing basically entire fighters kind of hold up entire weight classes to kind of pursue this and pursue that, and it's fun when it makes sense. And when a fighter's kind of cleaned out a division and they're oh, what's next? Well, that's kind of what kind of where you would be at with somebody like an Amanda Serrano, because she's kind of emphatically cleaned out just multiple weight classes. Right. So that's when super fights become fun, become interesting. Now, when you're just doing it on the women thing, what was Conor McGregor Mayweather fun? I mean, I guess, but I mean, anyone who really watched boxing and knew what was going on and really watched MMA, listen, it was all matter of time when Floyd wanted to do whatever he wanted to do to him. Not to say that Conor isn't a great striker, but there's just there's a difference. We talk about it all the time when it comes to combat sports. There's different levels. Like there's different guys that compete and women that compete in bare knuckle boxing that you can't see some of the MMA fighters or boxers could do that. We've seen that a lot recently. You've seen some of the bigger name MMA fighters falter. We just seen Chop Shop Curly. Retire on the chair. Could not on the answer chair. That's answer the last round. Listen, all the talk on that has to be a special little notch on Reggie. Oh yeah, Reggie, man, that's a special honor right there. But look, he hated to win that way. And I fully understand why. But at the end of the day, a win's a win, and yes, that is a notch on the belt. But still, I mean, he just wanted to get that one. Frank, I think everyone's with you here, Frank, because especially after we're going to get to this part of it in a minute too. Well, I mean, okay, look. These celebrity fights are, I get it. It's quote unquote for entertainment. So it's not actually for sport per se. Here's when that fight becomes more fun, about money. But it's all about money. Yeah, but here's the thing. Like when we do that, like all right, you're doing it for the entertainment value, but let's do it when these fighters aren't like if it's somebody who was once a champion, and you have one of these guys that maybe okay. Is go ahead, brother. No. Here's an example of what you're talking about. There was a fight that was on deck for Frank Mir to fight Antonio Tarver. Okay, the state wouldn't authorize Antonio Tarver at 52 years old to fight. Now, you would have had Antonio Tarver, multiple time light heavyweight champion, in an era in which he did some work. He put some work in that era. He's been a boxer his whole life, even at 52 years old. Look, Frank's no scrub. You see what I'm saying? Frank's no scrub, and Frank's got a puncher's chance. But at the end of the day, but that also has to make you question what's going on with him, because we just seen Rachel had Shannon Rich on last night. He's he's in his 50s and he's still competing at a high level. Look. Shannon's not. Look. Shannon's made up of something different. Like he's honestly, he may be Captain America and just don't want to tell nobody. I mean, for real. I mean, look, he's had over 100 professional fights, and he's fought in countries most people don't know exist. You know what I'm saying? My man's collected more belts. I don't know. It's insane. But these celebrity fights seriously need to be looked at. They seriously need. Look, if you want to have a thing of fights, call it grudge matches. Okay, you got a grudge match against somebody. Your grudge, whatever. That makes more sense. And you fight. Okay. So now we're talking about something. Now we're doing something different. You see what I'm saying? Why, thank you, Jake. Good looking out. You know what I'm saying? But when you're doing it for the money, and that's all this is for, is the money, literally. I mean, but look, you can't hate the players. You know what I'm saying? You could just hate the fact that the game allows it to happen. I mean, you've got Mike Tyson, who now says, I'm not a part of Thriller at all. You know what I mean? I'm doing my Legends thing, and he's putting together his own card. Okay, so who are you going to go with at the end of the day? I mean, let's just think about that real quick. I mean, you're getting to the point where everyone's kind of, starting promotions. You're having this person coming out of retirement, that person coming out of retirement, this person going into retirement. I mean, Oscar De La Hoya is now coming back for whatever reason.
Man, you took that right out of my mouth, man. What is going? Look here, man. Look.
And listen, I was an Oscar stain back in the day, but listen, we don't need that, bro. We don't need it. I love you. Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Man. Oscar
ain't it enough.
Oscar has never been the same since he got punched in the liver. He's never been the same. Never been the same. He did that interview. He's like, he hit me in the liver. Yeah. Fight was over. Body shut down. He's never been the same after that fight. Everybody go back and look at that fight. He's never been the same. He's never been the same. That clip will go down in history. He hit me in the liver. Yes. It's debilitating. For any of you who've ever been hit, whether in a street fight, MMA fight, boxing, whatever, you get caught with a liver shot, body just done. Done. You just so I don't want to see I don't want to see Oscar get hurt. He's not Bernard Hopkins. B-Hop is an alien. He was beating,
that's why he was the alien for a reason.
He was beating 27-year-olds half his age, bro. Half his age. Muscling them. He wasn't finessing them. My man was in there bodying him like check with the shoulder, roughing him.
It's rough, man. Now
now you want to do like a grudge fight, right? Other than the celebrity fights, you have fighters like him come back and fight somebody like James Toney.
Oh man, you say James Toney, that reminds me of the first crossover that we've seen in the kind of like the modern era in the last 20 years when we had the Randy James Toney fight.
Yeah. Oh, well, look.
All it took was an ankle pick.
Look, we all knew. I mean, look, my first love growing up, first thing I saw was boxing. Grew up in a boxing household. My dad boxed. All right. But of course, MMA was the next evolution. So of course I went along with that flow. Now, for those of you who know MMA back then, it was just like, look, we all know Randy's not going to stand he's not standing with James. There is no standing. You're going to stand when it goes ding, and that's it. After that, James is counting lights. It's just that simple.
But Peter, why is that entertaining? That's not entertaining. I don't want to buy that. I don't even know what's going to happen.
But see, here's the thing, though. When you make yourself such a polarizing entity in social media, online, in the digital era that we live in, people will watch or pay to watch you do some of the craziest shit ever. Like you said, the prime example. You look at this McGregor Mayweather fight. Okay, McGregor Mayweather. All right. Everybody in boxing knew, like you said, it was only a matter of time. And Floyd already knew. Yep. Once I get him past the 5th round, anything after that is gravy because he's going to be tired because this is different. This isn't MMA. This is different. So he waited him out and waited until he was dog tired. And then he just does what Floyd does. I mean, but I mean, okay, which fight would be more? Well, we all know what would probably happen. I mean, Jake's got a puncher's chance against Conor, but he's got to hit him first.
We're talking about Conor McGregor, but he's probably not going to get past Ben Askren. You just seen the
but see, here's the thing. Right? But see, here's the thing. One thing that Ben is very good at doing, and he's always been good at doing, Ben's really good at hyping fights. He doesn't talk much, but what he does say is funky. It's truly like his hairstyle. It's truly like his nickname. It's funky. Everything about him is funky. So he has that way.
He can't fight, but he does have a punch. As much as I want to bury the guy. No.
He can take a punch. He does have outside of a knee, outside of a running, jumping knee, Ben can take a shot. Ben's taken many a blow to get that takedown.
No,
So
and people also forget like the guys that he beat in those Bellator tournaments back in the days to get to build up that notoriety that he had in the first place.
well,
You know,
the man
like,
was undefeated. He was undefeated.
like remember like him beating like Lyman Good, and like Lyman was just this freak physical guy, great striking from Tiger Showman's, and he just
Took him down. Life's over. It's over. It's all, and it gets boring. It really does get, but you're like, oh, he did it again.
yeah.
Oh wait, he did it again. He did it again. You know what I mean? So wait, he did it again. And
Yep.
speaking of did it again, the rematch is tonight, bro.
Yeah, Jason wants to know, man. The fan, we want to know too. Well, what are your thoughts? UFC 260 is here tonight. Prelims should be starting, within the next like hour or so, I believe. Listen, it's the rematch. Stipe Miocic, Francis Ngannou. Francis is absolutely a terrifying heavyweight. Make no mistake about it.
Oh, no doubt.
But Stipe Miocic is just a different type of heavyweight. He's not one of these guys who sits at the top of the scales. He has to cut weight. He's a great boxer. His fight IQ is probably one of the most underrated things I've seen in MMA in general. Like, we talk about how smart this guy is and that guy. Like, do we forget? Granted, he's a tough guy. He's freaking well rounded. But like, one of the things is I think what makes him different and why he's been able to defend a title that almost nobody's been able to defend more than once. Oh
yeah, I mean he's done more in that respect. That's why he's the GOAT. And of course, the heavyweight division is always looked at, especially in combat sports, as being, you're the baddest man on the planet type of thing. And especially when it comes to MMA, due to all the, parts of it, he definitely has earned that title by far. Win or lose tonight, he still is the GOAT, because I don't know if another heavyweight is going to be able to do it as long and as well as he's done it. And he's almost kind of made it look easy. Like, I don't know. It's almost like the worst thing that could have happened for everybody in the heavyweight division is he got knocked out. Because now he's different. He's a different beast right now. And he came in lighter, which means he's going to be faster.
I respectfully disagree with that one. I know full fight, decision, no matter what if it's the decision, it definitely goes to Stipe. But here's the thing. I think in that retrospect, Ngannou's only chance to win is that KO. And that's not to say that he doesn't have other.
Actually, you got to think. If you look at, and they made a point to look at this on the ESPN UFC Live. They made a point to look at the fact of Francis's new body. Now, he didn't weigh in any different. He weighed in at 263, the exact same way he weighed in the last time they fought. But if you look at his body type now is built like a wrestler. If you look at a wrestler and you look at them and you look at his body type, he's got a wrestler's body type now. He changed his whole entire body. He was built more for brute force, blunt force object. That's what he was built like for first fight. Now he's built like a wrestler, which means he's got a thicker waist. He's got thicker thighs now. Now his core is stronger, and you can see it. So now he's got all the right stuff in the right spots. If he literally took it to Stipe, took it to him, pressed him against the cage, used that strength, used that extra weight, and actually started to be the aggressor, taking Stipe down. We all know the power is there. If he gets him on the ground with the ground and pound, we're one shot away from night-night. That's and Stipe's not just going to be able to throw Francis off of him. Francis has been wrestling with some high-level wrestlers. Tony Johnson Jr., that's a big boy, and he's really good at what he does because he's a wrestling specialist. And my boy will put them things on you real quick. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, I got to say it's going to be an interesting fight. You know what I'm saying? By far. But I know you wanted to really chit-chat about one of the prelim fights real quick.
Yeah, I mean, just for the simple fact, we're always concentrating on the main card, and there's always like one or two fights I want to touch on. There's another one, particularly this week. Khabib, little brother, was it? I believe Akbar. Is that what it is? Akbar, and Jared Gooden, who's had some pretty impressive performances this year already. So I mean, I want to kind of highlight that one. Obviously, we're gonna we'll probably see both UFC and ESPN kind of highlight that. Obviously, being Khabib sibling there, but and like I said, I think we should be watching out for Jared though, because he's one of these guys that a lot of people are sleeping on just because it's the Khabib name. Everyone wants to kind of hang on to that. It's kind of like the same thing we seen for Big Nog and Little Nog for all those years, and then they got to the UFC and it was a totally different story.
Well, I mean, of course, you have to build your own name. You know what I'm saying? You have to build your own name, and he's gonna have to build his own name. But he's got some hell-of-a shoes to fill. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, but he does have a great a great base and a good skill set. So it's not like he's just riding riding the namesake. You know what I mean? So he's got the skills. By far, he's got the skills. So and look who's in his corner. Obviously.
So that's going to be a good fight. You're absolutely right. That's going to be a hell of a fight.
Yeah, I really like that one. I could see, it could go either way, man. Like, it all depends on who winds up implementing that game plan the better at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Is what we talk about in each fight, but styles make fight. As much as I would like to say that I'm hoping, Jared gets a win. If that thing again is what we were just talking. If that thing goes to decision, that's probably going Nurmagomedov, not the Jared Gooden, but I still think he brings more tools with the striking game too, and might be a little surprised that we might see a stop, but who knows? Could be possible, man. Like, listen, dude, everyone goes down at some point, like, and I think that's one of the things that Khabib was realizing that people were going to start catching up to him real soon. Why I wouldn't want to chase another fight.
No.
And then if you go look at the fights he was chasing, George St. Pierre was the only thing he really wanted.
Like he said, money fights.
Not just a money fight, but it was a retirement fight. It was a legacy fight. That makes sense. He'd earned that point to kind of make that decision.
Sure.
just like John Jones had earned the point to vacate his title to go move up and see whatever happens tonight. And that's the other side of that coin tonight is, who do you want to see the winner of tonight to do it? Like, what matchup would you rather see? Would you rather see Francis Ngannou and John Jones? Because obviously they're going to give John Jones the first title defense of whoever the winner is tonight, regardless if it's Stipe or if it's Francis. The other thing is, what's left in Stipe's tank? He's starting to get to that point where. The R word's been thrown around a lot over the last handful of fights. So
he said, look, Francis can be the champion when I'm done. So I think he fights Jones next. That's the money fight. That's his big say all be all, go out with a bang, win, lose or draw. You step away at that point. I mean, the man's a first responder, so he's always going to be a hero first and foremost. You know what I mean? And that's never going to change. When he's done with his career in MMA, he's going to stay.
He's one of these guys. He's first ballot Hall of Famer. That's what it is.
Hands down.
We talk about that in the NFL all the time. Like listen, as soon as he becomes technically available, they're throwing that guy in there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So, I mean, he's got that locked in. I mean, I think he's got more tools to win tonight. But I just hope that coming in lighter works, because if Francis actually is the aggressor and starts to use his body, especially up against the cage, it's going to get interesting. And it's going to get interesting quick, because that means that later rounds are going to look a lot different. So Stipe used it to beat. He used the wear down tactics to beat Cormier. We'll see if Francis tries the same thing on him.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the other thing that you were talking about. But I think you're right on that aspect with the difference in his body, where he might be fitting to try to use that game. That might be something he finagled into his game plan there.
I could definitely see it. But
No, because listen, you look at the first fight, and then you look at how his style's been. Everyone's kind of expecting him to come out like a freaking supercar. You know what I mean? Just come out guns a blazing, right?
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of a measured approach, but I don't know if that's going to be to make a difference. Just because like we were just sitting there saying, I think Stipe has more tools in his tool belt at the moment. Yes.
So, I'm going to give the nod to Stipe in this one. You know what I mean? I don't know. That wild card truly is Ngannou's wrestling. That's the wild card. And yes, John Jones would be next. He would be next, regardless.
Ooh, who would be next? All right, for argument's sake, let's just say Stipe wins, retires. Francis Ngannou is the de facto number one contender. Who are you throwing in there outside of John Jones? Because that's the fight that everyone's kind of been leaning towards on it anyways.
Derek Lewis has just been quietly knocking people out.
And he is arguably you have to make the statement. He is arguably the most entertaining man in the UFC at the moment.
Look, he is a walking soundbite. Literally, you want some material? Check out his Twitter. Just check out the man's Instagram and his Twitter, and you got plenty of his story is unbelievable. You know what I mean? So I thought
it was funny when we were going through Black History Month and he was fighting Curtis Blades. He's like, "Hey, wait till this month's over and I can go back on Twitter and start talking trash on Curtis."
I'm telling you, look, man, he knows how to do it. He does it right. His name's got to be up there because again, he's just been quietly knocking people out. Quietly.
He's probably the only one that you would have to say if you're gonna make John wait, that's probably the guy you would do.
Or you would have John. No, you wouldn't put John in there against him right away. That would not be good. That would not be good because I don't care. John weighing 245, all yoked out, will get bench pressed. He'll get on top. He'll just bench press him like, yo, hold up, man. I just need to kind of get you up off me real quick and put you over here, and then hit him with one of them ham hocks. And then the fight's over. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also interested in this O'Malley Alameda fight. That fight has got me interested because I want to see how Sean O'Malley comes back from, that injury. You know what I mean? Because if you look at it in that fight, you kind of got a blueprint. Calf kick him to death. Take the leg out. See how he responds to it. I mean, so if I'm Alameda and he's got the hands, he puts people to sleep. That he does. He's very good at doing it. So it'll be interesting. That fight definitely could steal the show. Possibly, because again, styles make fights. But it'll be interesting to see how the Sugar Show, how his wheels truly are.
I mean, he's gotten to the point where he the love affair has kind of ended from the Contender Series and all that, and he's taken his losses absolutely terribly at this point in time. He holds no ownership to it, anything in between. So at this point in time, like, as much as people love him, I'm sure more than half of MMA Twitter, most of the fans probably want to see Almeida win this fight. I'm just saying, and that's not nothing against Shane. It's just it's just the way he's rubbing people lately.
Look, he is who he is, but he understands the game. He understands that it's about hype. I gotta say, in the embedded that they did, he was kind of humble. You know what I'm saying? He was a little more humble. He wasn't talking as much smack as he usually does. So we'll see. I mean, he's a dad. So he's had some time to chill with the baby and the little one, and you know what I'm saying, soften up a little bit. So we'll see. I mean, what's he gonna fight like is gonna be the question.
Yeah.
No, I definitely agree with that, Camden. Because if Stipe does just kind of play the elusive game in out, especially use that speed advantage, here's my thing. There is a reach advantage that NGANNOU has that if used properly, Stipe is going to have problems. Because again, Stipe shot in whenever Francis overextended. The minute he overextended, Stipe would level change. But I don't see Francis doing this. He's more accurate now, and he knows he's got to be more accurate now. That's scary. That means he doesn't have to hit you at full strength to knock you out because he's just more accurate now, which means the punch is coming faster now. Speed equals power, people. That's scary when you're already that powerful. Yep. I mean, that's why I see NGANNOU's cardio being better than it was. I do, but I don't see him being able to withstand. He's like I said, either he takes it to Stipe or he loses this fight, just like he lost the last one. Sad to say.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we're gonna get if we'll see Stipe be able to put him away, but I still see him getting his hand raised. I still see him retaining the title. I hope he doesn't retire. I hope we get to see him kind of humble John Jones and kind of get to see John be able to reset himself and actually fix those holes that he has in his game that he swears he doesn't.
Well, I mean,
and kind of get that kid back that we seen before this run.
I don't know. I mean, look, I got to give it to John. He stayed out of the public eye. So I got to give him that much because basically he has been training. He has been working his body. He has been doing his thing. I give him mad props and much love, but he's got to continue to do that because if he doesn't continue to do that, Houston, we have a very serious problem.
Listen, a focused, in shape John Jones who has that razor edge,
almost
is dangerous.
Unbeatable. Almost unbeatable because he knows how to use his tools. He doesn't care about what you're bringing to the table. He masters his craft, which is himself, and he's been doing it at such a high level since the beginning. So he doesn't know any other way. Muscle memory is a really beautiful thing. You add some weight. I mean, as he gets older, he's going to get naturally stronger. But John's never been a knockout artist. It's not going to start now. So just because he put on some weight and some muscle, he's not going to be knocking people out. I will say this, though. He's going to surprise some people in wrestling. He's going to grab some people, and they're going to be like, oh, no. Yeah, he's going to be a lot stronger than you think. And remember them slams he used to do to people back when he first came in? Oh, my. There's going to be some pretty big dudes getting hoisted around, getting dropped on their head.
So is that kind of more where you want to see? Do you want to see him kind of go have a couple fights first and then given a title fight, or do you think they're just going to go right after the money?
They have to go for the money. Look, we're coming out of hibernation basically. Events, they're sold out in minutes. Live venue gone. Minutes. Like they said, tickets are on set. Oh, we're sold out. They didn't even say on sale fully. They said on set. Sold out. Just that fast. So it makes you it you know, we have been craving live entertainment for how long now? And now we're about to get back to that live entertainment. Do you understand the energy? I mean, do you know how weird it's going to be to actually hear people yelling and screaming tonight? Like, we haven't heard it in so long. It's going to be so foreign. Like, we're used to it being so quiet, and you can hear the corner people, and you can hear the announcers so clearly. And now it's going to go back to them screaming and yelling because they can't hear themselves even think, let alone talk on a microphone. So
yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, it's going to be fun. That is definitely going to be something that I think a lot of the, you know, not just the fans, but the fighters, the announcers, that everything, everyone's going to be really kind of looking forward to that aspect of what's going on and that of tonight, on top of, the pay-per-view, the main event, the title fight, all that good stuff. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. All right, now moving into the next segment of the show, we have Body Check Wellness is a line of products that promote wellness, balance, and recovery by using the full potential of hemp. They come in extracts, blends, gummies, and topicals. Use promo code A2D. That's right, people. A2D for 20% off your order at bodycheckwellness.com. Again, people, that's bodycheckwellness.com. Use that promo code A2D. Get some, people.
Yeah, absolutely. Not sure what's going on with Angela. Sent her actually a message on social media since didn't get a response to the email. So maybe she has her wires crossed. But like I said, we still have some more fights to talk about, etc. So
oh yeah. Well, and plus, see, here's the thing. In the life of a fighter, right? You know what I mean? It's a crazy lifestyle to live. You train. It's up, it's down. She's cutting weight right now for a fight.
Yeah, I know.
Mean, so I
like,
look,
like me and you've been through this so much when somebody sometimes they forget or space out, stuff like that. It's just like that, and then we get these messages. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Don't hate me. No, me and Johnny over have been through this long enough. We know what goes on in the fight world with these athletes. Sometimes you get them exactly to be there when you need to be. Sometimes they're far field.
Hey. It happens, bro. It happens. But I mean, again, like you said, I mean, we've got some fights to talk about, especially this Tyron Woodley fight.
I just want to go back real fast. I want to go ahead. We're going back to that. But Thursday night, Amanda Serrano yet again was victorious. Another knockout victory, because apparently knockouts doesn't happen in women's boxing. When you ask media members, at least media members who cover boxing. we don't see enough knockouts from the women. If I remember correctly, at least our last 2 or 3 were chaos. But not just that, like that what Amanda's done over the past 3 years, transitioning over to MMA, continuing to defend her titles and to seek out the highest level of competition, and I know you've interviewed her. I know you consider Clarissa the WOT, but Amanda is really surely knocking on that door. I believe that she only needs 2 more KOs, and she will have or be tied with the most in professional women's boxing history. Yeah.
I mean, what she's done, especially in that time period, especially with what's going on, and she stayed sharp. A lot of fighters want to fight. They haven't fought. They can't fight for whatever reason. She's been able to keep that sharpness. Of course, like nothing ever happened. Gets in there, does what she does. Boom, bam. Like you said, knockouts, women's boxing. What happened? You know what I mean? But again, you have to look at the evolution of sport, the evolution of human beings. Of course, it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of time before you start to see it as the norm. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, yep, boom. Think about it. Amanda Nunes knocks people out on the regular basis. It's what she does, and she's look. Chris Cyborg, another one. When she wins,
that was one of the fights I was really intrigued about when they made that, because Chris had been the woman, the feared woman for so long, and what Amanda had, the run Amanda had been on was beyond impressive. Obviously, she's still in the midst of that right now. You know, another one of these greats that are getting ready to approach that R word is being thrown around a lot there. But
there's nobody left. there's look. What hasn't she done? I mean,
literally, the only person that's really kind of would be an intriguing matchup is Kayla Harrison, but Kayla needs like at least 2 years before she can even take that fight.
Look. There's only one person on the planet that even survives 5 rounds, and she's already beat her twice. Both fights, 5 rounds.
Valentina.
Dude, look,
Valentina.
Look, and Valentina's undersized. Like, dude, no one's gonna beat Valentina at that weight class. Like, Valentina will fight for the next 20 years at that weight class. She'll fight once a year, whoop ass, and do her dance thing, and life is good. Because that weight class is perfect for her. Just like,
oh, absolutely, and dude, and the crazy part is her sister's just as nasty.
Well, her sister's got that ground game though. That ground game is on another level. But I mean,
no.
Who?
No.
Oh, you mean
Valentina Shevchenko, Pita?
Oh yes,
Shevchenko.
Yeah.
She's sitting there saying, I don't know. When you say Gina at the front, are you referring to the Gina Carano? I don't even think that would be a fight. And I love Gina too. So I mean, I don't know what that one is. I guess that's what that one is. But yeah, neither one of them. But I mean, Valentina, another one. You know.
But see, this goes back to the dominance, and this goes back to Amanda's dominance. It literally
I don't
is.
Can you inform me?
Right, like
educated.
Inquiring minds want to know. You know what I mean? It's that okay. So
Amanda's the GOAT, point blank and period.
Yeah. Well,
you can't argue that.
No, you can't. There's no way possible you could argue that. Now, here's what you could always think about. All right, and with technology here, this probably could be done right now.
I mean, I think the only thing you do with Amanda is put her in boxing matches. That's the only thing you could do.
No, you couldn't even really do that because basically, I mean, she's a striker, but she's like she can kick. The hands is nasty. She knows how to throw the hands. She knows how to stay offline. Her in boxing, what would change? The fact that you then can't take her down, that's a problem.
But eventually you're going to get somebody who's more technically sound that's going to
but see, here's the problem. Now she doesn't have to train ground game, and now all she has to do is train hands. Have fun with that one at 35 and 45. Look, here's all you can do with Amanda. You can put Amanda in a simulation with Chris Cyborg from 2012. Now, you put Chris Cyborg 2012 in there
as we're destroying super fights. We're gonna make a super fight.
Yeah, but see, this fight can't happen physically.
Yeah,
this fight would have to be a computer simulation. But I'll tell you what, right now, Amanda would be fighting a mirror image of herself, and that would be a problem.
Simulations get Rocky Balboa out of retirement.
Of course. Look. CGI is a beautiful thing, brother.
Yeah,
it
exactly.
is a beautiful thing. It can do some wonders. We got hologram technology that makes things look pretty real nowadays. Just say it. But yeah, I mean, Amanda's the GOAT, hands down. There's really no way around that. You know what I'm saying?
Amanda Nunes is the GOAT of MMA and boxing. I don't know, man. Like I said, Carissa's up there, but
look. Here's the thing.
Amanda's been in boxing longer. She's a little bit older. She's been competing a little bit longer in there, but
it's the smaller weights, and that's the issue. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same issue with the men's division, the same issue with the women's division. The smaller weight classes don't get the love. Simulation, yes, indeed. You know what I mean? So the smaller weight classes don't get the love. The fights are hellified. They're action packed from beginning to end, but they don't get the love. They don't get the love they deserve, the love they need. So that's why Amanda sits where she sits, and nobody really talks about her the way they should talk about her. Because I mean, literally, she lays waste. She's laid waste to whole divisions, like you said before. So it's not like she's done it and it was boring. She's done it in dominating fashion. But again,
absolutely dominating fashion, and
it's the weight classes, man, and it's so sad.
No, it's also the matchups too. She hasn't really found somebody who can have that good blend. And there was only one person who really had it over the last 10 years, and that was Katz and Ngannou. They're not even in the same organization. They got close to seeing that rematch once,
right?
And then Kat went through what she went through. They went on different paths, and Amanda wound up becoming the champion here. She's now, and if I remember, Kat's now in Bellator. So
yes, that is the only other, and now that be a fight to see, because one Kat.
But now we go back to the old question that now that you do things like that, and you're starting to see a lot more parity between the UFC and the other promotions. When are we ever gonna see them get together and do like a freaking
look?
You
money,
already know.
Look, money will look.
Yeah, obviously, when you have the bigger stars for the bigger nights, you do some revenue sharing, man. There's ways they can make this happen and stop fighting over this nonsense.
Look. We all know Scott would be down with it. Scott would be down in a heartbeat. He really would. We all know that. Scott's even said he'd be down with it. Now we all know
it's about the money.
Look, Uncle Dana on some shit. He's on some shit.
He's always been on some shit.
He's on some shit.
He's always been on some shit. I love Dana. I love Dana. I love Dana for what he's done for the sport and stuff like that. But there's aspects of it where you got to be like, you just got to be like, come on, man, really?
Well, look. He's done what he's done. He's become top dog, and basically he understands that they branded it in such a way he'll never have to. And it's sad because you're going to miss out on possibly knowing who the true best in the world actually is. That's one thing about boxing that I enjoy so much, is the fact that who in a weight class is the best in the world. I mean, there's too many weight classes, but
it's not just the weight classes. It's how you've broken down with this belt and that belt and this sort, like you know what I mean? It like how we have in MMA. It's just this is one of these things you wish could be rectified in some type of way. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, no, I definitely hear you. I mean, in boxing, yes, there's too many sanctioning bodies and more sanctioning bodies coming on board.
But like I said, the UFC UFC, MMA, etc., has their own problems when it comes to that. But in a sense, Dana's kind of won that argument he said all those years ago, boxing versus MMA. But he's lost the one where one, you're not the number one sport in the world, and two, you don't have all the we don't know the answer of who the best fighters in the world, because you really won't allow us to have it.
Well, I mean, plus you got to think he can talk all that smack about boxing he wants to. One, he's a boxing fanatic, and two, UFC boxing will make its debut soon. Let's not get it twisted. So Dana knows how much money is going to be generated. Look at how much money they're raking in right now. Yes, Dana is the Vince McMahon of MMA. By far, hands down.
Why do you think they talk to each other so damn much?
I mean,
they have semi-annual meetings. Come on. They trade ideas on a consistent basis.
That's facts. That right there is big facts of the day. That's big facts of the day. Real
well, you got to remember, they're from that same kind of area. Like, he's from Boston. I think, if I remember, Vince was like Upper New Hampshire or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So it's like they're in that area. So it's kind of be expected for them to kind of have that bond like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, we all can agree that Dana basically did whatever it took to get his organization to where it is today.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, or indifferent, it is what it is.
The same thing that Vince did. It didn't matter who you stepped on, who you heard, who you left out to dry. Like, you hear stories, man. You hear plenty of stories. Getting to the top is getting to the top. It's just how you do it. You know what I mean? So, but
it's hard to maintain. And I will tip my hat to both of those gentlemen because they've maintained for a very long time at a very, very high level because many have tried, many have duplicated. Like, people don't understand, like, okay, Bellator is owned by a company that has more money than the company that owns the UFC by a lot, not like a little bit. I'm talking by a whole lot. But yet and still, Bellator has the money to literally financially crush the UFC. Seriously, they could if they wanted to. They got the money. But, I mean, the UFC is branded.
Like I said, Bellator's been doing nothing but catching up over the last 4 years. Nothing.
Oh, I agree with you. I agree. I mean, their talent level, now mind you, I get it. I get it. UFC guys are done. Where they go? They go to Bellator.
Not all of them.
Michael Chandler's going to then could potentially show that Bellator could produce a world champion in another organization.
And he's not the only one that there was others over the years that we probably should have seen in the UFC well before that.
Yeah, but I think the
Lima brothers should have been in the UFC long ago.
Yeah, well, again, you got to think contracts, sponsorship money.
Yeah,
you got to think that was back when the UFC just went to that new deal, and they took away sponsorship money.
Yeah, when we've seen how it ruined a lot of things. We've seen it ruin friendships. We've seen it ruined partnerships. When they started doing that. The partnership that the UFC had with Tap Out was long and rich, and the fact that they weren't the first fight kit and that they were kind of outs with all the fighters. It was a thing. Then it followed along with everything that went along with the Cutman and Stitch, and it followed along all down the line. It was the cause of a lot of things, but it's I guess the price of business at the end of the day from where Dana thinks of it. But
you got to think about it.
Go ahead.
It makes the company more money. It makes the fighters a whole lot less money. I mean, Frankie Edgar, they said Frankie Edgar was making probably upwards to over $125,000 worth of sponsorship money per fight. With the Reebok deal, Frankie was making $25,000 to $35,000, something like that. You're talking $100,000 less.
And then there's the other thing: you're under contract, so you can't go anywhere else.
I mean, man, look, and that's another thing, man. These contracts, man, are crazy. These contracts are nutty.
Start in Bellator, he just got his fame.
Yes,
in Bellator.
Yes.
A lot of people have that.
Eddie's been around. Eddie's been around for a long time. That's why he's the underground king. Because look, people forget Eddie went to Japan for a while.
Let me go and look up Bodog fight, because that's where Eddie really got big off of when he became the Bulldog fight champion. When Eddie arrived on the MMA scene. But Bellator is kind of where he cut his teeth, and he kind of
well, it was the mainstream. It was his first shot at mainstream.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Where like he was being showcased to the masses versus again being the underground king. Doing his thing. So I mean, he's just been in so many wars.
Eddie's a Philly guy, but here's the thing: Eddie isn't the guy anymore here in Philly. There's so many different guys, and there's guys that within his team, within guys that he support. He right here in Philadelphia, guys that even I've already had on H2D radio, Chris Dawkins, Kyle Dawkins, here in Philadelphia from Martinez BJJ. You got Sean Brady, down there at Daniel Gracie's gym. Obviously Paul Felder's already been in the UFC for more than a handful of years. There's so many Philadelphia athletes. Pat Sabatini just got his call up. Obviously didn't go his way with everything that happened with his fight being canceled before his debut. But there is so much Philadelphia talent as far as MMA is concerned.
Oh yeah, well, MMA boxing has always been a staple. You see what I'm saying? I mean, that's just a given.
Oh man, especially that's why we wanted to bring the combat sports stop and make sure it's stopped right here. on A2D radio, because the combat fighting, boxing, everything is just part of Philadelphia. It's just who we are, guys.
There we go. Like it or love it. Like look,
and going back
love it
to
or leave it.
I want to real quick touch on 2 more fights before we get ready to wrap things on up and say our goodbyes. And obviously, I'll be back on here in another hour and a half for the weekly roundup. Want to get on the Jillian Roberts Miranda Maverick fight. That is going to be a barn burner. Jillian, has got a chip on her shoulder, but Miranda Maverick is somebody I followed since she was an amateur. She is an absolute terror, and I think she's gonna get this one. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets a submission too.
Well, I see here. It's gonna be interesting. I'm interested in this fight because I don't know. I love MMA. So by loving MMA, this fight literally is
truthfully, I forgot about the pro wrestling. We got the ECW stuff, but that is now the arena, which is now CFFC's home, basically here in Philadelphia. For all intents and purposes. So we all know, brother. We all know pro wrestling goes all a long way.
A2D, right. But yeah, now it's this match tonight. These 2 ladies are both, you could almost say, specialists. I mean, both have over 60% of their wins come by submission.
Yeah.
So it's gonna go to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to stand up banging war, I don't think you're gonna get what you want tonight out of this fight. But what you are gonna get is some grappling. You're gonna get some high level transitions. You're gonna see some things out of this one. Performance of the night could come with a very, very well-deserved submission.
Yeah, this is one of the ones, like, if I'm saying there's a potential of a performance bonus, you can circle this one. Everyone's going to talk about the main event and stuff like that. Obviously, I'm just one of the things that you're not really going to see. Guys, you got to tune into this one. So, he missed the first half on our predictions. Listen, Ngannou looks great. He looks amazing. We're probably going to see a different type of game plan. Travis believes he's gonna use that slimmer figure to kind of where Stipe down and try to see if he can pick him apart in the later rounds. On the other hand, I believe he will try that. I believe he will be unsuccessful at it once again, and then Stipe will continue to just do what he's done to get him here. You use his fight IQ, use his boxing, use his cardio, his frame to kind of do what he does, man. I believe he's going to continue along the lines of this defense, and at least in my opinion, right off into the sunset for this fight. Francis Ngannou is going to be a terror in this division for a very long time.
For a very long time.
For a long time. It's just a matter of when he ascends, and if a guy like John Jones will be a problem for him, if John Jones decides to stay there, if John Jones really commits himself. So there's so many interesting questions surrounding the heavyweight division.
Well, that division is stacked right now.
I know, man.
Stacked right now.
And remember how stagnant it was 5 years ago? We just be like, oh god, there's no point to watch anything else outside of these guys. Look, I just mentioned the name for you, Chris Dawkins, man. Watch out, man. He's the top 10 heavyweight now. Right here in Philadelphia.
Kane made it real boring for a while. For a while, it was just like, oh, yeah, the heavyweight division. Yeah, So
I don't know if it was boring, but like it was just that time. No
one could beat him.
Junior Dos Santos was a fun fight.
Yes, that was a fun fight. That was a very fun fight. That will always be remembered, even though Junior has rode off into the sunset, probably soon to be joining Bellator. So,
you sure it's Bellator? Because Dave Feldman says he's got 2 big former UFC signings he's been waiting to drop on us.
No,
it's not.
No.
Okay.
No.
Would
it be nice? Would it be nice? Yes. Is it gonna happen? No.
Okay. You heard it here. Travis says no to Junior Dos Santos making it to bare knuckle boxing.
Nope. That would be that. Look, man.
Yes, And praise to the gods it doesn't have DC anymore. Praise to the gods.
Well, look,
He was
you gotta-
insufferable. I'm sorry. Great,
Look.
great guy. Does great things outside of the cage. But when it came to talking about this game and himself inside of this game, you cannot tell me that man is insufferable.
Well, look, you gotta look at it this way. To go to the Olympics, you got to be a certain breed of individual. The man went twice in order to get there, let alone if you win, lose, or draw in the Olympics or not. The fact that you were an Olympian twice, you're a different individual. He showed.
And there ain't nothing wrong with being a DC guy, brother. Not the problem with it. Just because I don't love him, don't mean you're not allowed to, and don't mean I'm going to give you shit for it either. Go ahead. Look.
Either way, he's earned it. You know what I'm saying? And he's a great athlete. Ragdoll in heavyweights at light heavyweight. He's earned his props.
For sure. But as we get ready to wrap things up, Travis, Mr. Johnny, you're gonna let everyone know what we're gonna be doing moving forward here, and give us a send off.
Oh, but of course. Why, thank you, my good man. All righty, once again, T folks, aka Johnny Quantum, doing the thing here on the Combat Sports Stop. You see what I'm saying? We're going to be doing this thing every Saturday evening from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. right here on A2D Radio, people. A2D Radio is doing some big things.
We're going to be leading up to basically every fight, at least ones that are normally timed.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So, we'll be doing our thing. This is where you'll find us. You know what I'm saying? The one and only stop for combat sports. Combat Sports Stop. You know what I'm saying? With my none other than the co-host, Steven himself, doing his thing on the ones and twos over there, making it happen.
Absolutely. And then, obviously, my crazy ass will be back on here in about an hour or so. So,
hey, look, man, we've been doing this so long. It's just what we do. It's in the blood, right?
Absolutely. But great first show. Again, we'll figure out what's going on with Angela. Hopefully we'll get her rescheduled. Next week, something like that. We'll figure out what's going on. Maybe we'll do a 2 for next week just to see if we can get her on prior to the fight. If not, we'll get it figured out in the future. But
because that fight card is going to be amazing. By the way, that Lion Fights card. Woo,
that'll probably be a good chunk of our show next week, I believe, because I think they're on the 9th. If I remember.
I believe you are correct.
Okay, so that should be a little bit of that. Obviously, leading up into it, I guess I'll let you guys know. Executive Spotlight will be back next week, and going to be talking to Lions Fights CEO, boss man, Mr. Scott Kent. Talk. So, since we're already talking about it, a little combat sports, and we got a few more athlete spotlights. We got a few more interviews lined up for you guys this week. Make sure you guys are staying tuned in. You're liking the page. You're subscribed over there on YouTube. Following everyone on Twitter. Make sure you
share it.
Make sure you're showing the love. And again, appreciate everyone for tuning in. I'll be back in an hour for weekly roundup. We got 2 undefeated boxers coming on in Melissa Odessa Parker and the son of former world champion boxer Tommy Morrison. Kinsey Morrison will be joining us. It's been a few years since he's been in the ring. He's got a fight lined up. Want to see what's going on with him and what's new with him. Hopefully, we can get him back on again before his fight as well. Again, appreciate all the love, and we'll catch you guys on the rebound next week. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right, people. You know what I'm saying? Again, till next week. Peace.